In this session, I received communication from a spirit entity who has communicated with myself and my fellow Ghostbox researcher Steve Hultay for over 2 decades now, on and off. The entity's name is Ed. Up until the communication you are about to hear, all communication from Ed in the past, either to me or Steve, was very negative, bordering on evil. I immediately recognized his voice, although it was varied each time due to the inherent nature of Ghostbox communication. It was familiar enough for me to recognize. I started by asking if any entities wish to communicate, please come through and tell me their name. I received the response, Ed. I heard this clearly, repeated it, and asked if the entity wished to communicate. I received the response, yes. I acknowledged it and asked if this was the same Ed that had been communicating with us for many years, and I received the answer, yeah. I heard the answer and repeated it. I then asked Ed if he was the same entity that was negative towards myself and Steve in the past, and I received the answer, yes. I then asked if Ed is still a negative entity, and I received the response, no, Bruce. I heard the response and acknowledged it. I then asked the entity what happened for him to change, to turn away from being a negative entity, and I received the response, now listen, they told me to help you, Bruce. Unfortunately, I did not hear that communication live. I knew that Ed had sent an answer, but I was unable to catch it live. I found it later in review of the recording. I thanked Ed for his communication and told him I would try communicating with him again in the future sessions. And I received the response, okay, Bruce. This was a special and extraordinary volley of communication by a known spirit entity that was negative and claimed to be reformed. A prime example of live spirit Ghostbox communication. Mike, Lisa, Peter, any other entities there that wish to communicate? Have them come through. Tell me their name. Ed. Okay, I heard an Ed. Is there an entity there that named Ed that wishes to communicate today? Yes, okay. Alright, Ed, are you the same Ed that has communicated with me in the past over the many years that we're doing live Ghostbox communication?
Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah. Okay, Ed, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, maybe we were wrong, but myself and a couple of other live spirit Ghostbox communication researchers had received communication from you, and we deemed it negative. Ed, were you the same entity that we've spoken to in the past that we felt was negative? Yes, okay. Are you still a negative entity, or you still have negative feelings? No, I heard you say no. Okay, what happened then? Why were you negative in the past and you're not negative now? What was the change? What happened? Okay, Ed, thank you for coming through. If need be, I'll communicate with you again next time, next session.